This is Paul Feinbaum. That'll do it for me today. Coming up next, The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This hour is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore. Welcome to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, 256-576-4977.
That's how I roll. And I'm not going to drink and drive anymore.
That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Wes and Steve.
Away we go on a Monday. Glad to have you along. Plenty to get into. Only an hour today as we walk you up to Crimson Tide Rewind. How are you, Wes Neighbors?
Doing good.
Oh, what is the best thing that I heard today? How about this comment from Lane Kiffin on rat poison?
Do you have to pay a rights fee to Nick Saban to say rat poison?
I don't know. It's a good thing he probably didn't know, because he doesn't look at social media or anything, so he probably doesn't know when I copy him. But I don't know where he got that from when we were there, but it really is, it is true. And you got to remember, like I tell our coaches, our kids deal with that everywhere they go. It's not just when you guys write about it. They go to class and everybody tells them how great they are, and so we got to be very careful of that, especially with so many new players.
That is Lane Kiffin. Also, you know how much I love Mike Leach. So I wish I had cropped out the question, honestly. But let's see here. Where is it? Mike Leach. If you want a personification of what I hear from Mike Leach every single press conference, it's this answer.
I don't view anything as breaks. I just view the week each season as a segment to get better and improve, and we've identified plenty to improve on from the film of last game, and we got to get a week better this week.
He sounds like Pat Dye before a big game.
He had a good one.
Are you okay? I'm looking at Left Child through the window. He looks awful. He's
had a rough weekend on the plains.
They should have wore orange.
Ooh. Hang on. You all right?
He doesn't look all right. He looks awful. Are you okay? You're not answering.
I'm fine. I'm hamming it up right now.
Is that what it is?
I watched more football this week because I felt like, when I was in Texas at a game and walking to the game and getting up early and then going, you don't get to watch much football. So I made sure I watched a bunch of football, and it was very interesting. Just remember, it's never as bad as it seems or as good as it seems. And I'm talking to both of you.
Yeah.
It's never.
I don't know. It looks pretty good for Georgia right now.
Hang on.
Hang on. But see, Auburn, do you turn the ball over 4 times?
That's a problem.
You're not going to beat anybody.
Yep.
And then you go in the red zone and turn the ball over twice.
Yeah. Score
kick
twice.
2 field goals.
Yeah.
And then you're not going to beat anybody. The problem with Auburn is one simple thing. I don't think they're bad coach. They don't have a quarterback.
Correct.
They don't have an offensive line.
Well,
their offensive line's not been good for years, though. Gus Malzahn could win with that offensive line. Anyway, but I was looking at. He could. Truthfully, right?
Yeah.
What we've done is hired a coach that and want to run something totally different without even. He's had one recruiting class. Right? They're going to fire him. They wanted to run smash mouth football, and he's trying to get them back there, and they expect him to get there. It's almost become this is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we're watching exactly what Tennessee's already done.
Yes.
And just now coming out of 10 years later.
Yes.
We're watching it. I'm getting text messages from people I respect and talking to people I respect. They all want to fire him. The same guys that were defending him 6 months ago. And they were talking this, fire him now. I mean, to me, if you're going to get rid of him, which I can see why you would at this point, it's not meshing. It doesn't look like it's working. But it's not that far away if you don't turn the ball over. And one of them really wasn't the quarterback's fault. It's just unfortunate. He's thrown it out of bounds. He gets hit from behind in the ball, and the guy makes a good play from Penn State. To me, it's not time to hit the panic button yet. But we knew a 6-6 Auburn this year would be a decent year.
We did.
I thought.
Yeah,
because of the quarterback situation. Now, we all hoped he'd be better than he was, but he's not at this point.
But let's be honest, Wes. We all thought we were going to get to see Zach Calzada.
Yeah, that's what we thought. But, but he's obviously not there yet. I think we'll see him before the end of the year for sure. But obviously he's just not ready because he was hurt all spring.
Yep. So the other little bit of audio that I think you'll enjoy hearing came from Mike Leach. He was asked the following question of whether or not he thought the loss from last week is a learning experience on missing a key phrase or saying something different to your football team getting ready for a big SEC game.
So you think there was a sentence or two that wasn't said last week? I mean, left out a phrase, maybe a couple words, maybe a key adjective here or there. No, I think it's a little more complex than that.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing has nothing to do with Mississippi State. It has to do with, we talked about how much talent was on that team. They quit making errors, and they came together in the second half.
Yes.
A young team, we watched them come together, and they ran the ball, and they got better from the first week to the second week, and they stopped making mistakes, and there you go. I mean, that's all it has to happen to get the crowd behind you, and now everybody who wanted to fire them after the first week are all happy again. So it's just everybody's turning into the crowds that I imagine that were in Caesar's day, which has been going on at LSU forever. But
I was about to say,
but I get it. Auburn's
time stops in that area.
They hired a guy who's a totally different coach than Gus Malzahn because they got tired of seeing the 5 plays he ran or whatever they used to always say, but to me, Auburn is a great school. It is a place to recruit. They need somebody who's his own man that goes down there and give him a chance, and they'll win eventually. But if they keep changing coaches, maybe I didn't understand why they hired a Harsin in the first place. But I was impressed with what he says.
Yeah.
But he sounded like a deer in headlights after that game.
Yes, he
got
did.
him in.
Yep.
Because you can't defend that. You can't defend getting. I mean, you can say whatever. They made I almost had to beat me,
and that's why I'm not on the whole fire him bandwagon. But what happened Saturday was the one only thing that could not happen with everything going on around the program. I feel like.
Well, I mean, yeah, because it gets. But to me, they need to rally around the troops for this team because there's nothing you can do to save this team. There's nothing you can't hire a coach away from. He's not going to leave his team this year.
Mm-mm.
So there's nothing you can do but try to be positive and and give this guy a chance and see what the end result is.
I really don't want to add gasoline to the fire right now. This is not my goal.
I can take it.
Yeah, you're about to.
This is not my goal. Nebias Wilborn asked the question today at Brian Harsin's press conference. Coach, what has this team done well?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of things that we've done well that I've seen. And, again, you guys get to see a very small portion of what we do. You see the game, which is the most important thing, right? That's at the end of the week, that's the test. You guys get to watch the test. All the prep and all those things that we've been doing, I think there's some really good things that we've done. I think there's still there's a long ways to go when it just comes to what we focus on. I think that's the biggest thing. All right, where our focus goes, all right, what's important, what matters. I think that has to continue to be something that we address. But guys have gotten better in those areas. We're still just not there yet to raise that standard where we need to be. and to put in, the work each and every day to get to Saturday, so that we don't have some of the mistakes that we made, because it matters on Tuesday. Tuesday matters for Saturday, all right, and so on. But I think a lot of guys have handled that well. I think some guys are still working through it, but we got to get there as a team. It's 9 guys doing their part and 2 are not. That affects you, right? Because those 2, they might be point of attack guys, and then you're wondering why something happened. Well, we weren't in the right spot or didn't do what we needed to do. Or we got to coach it better too. You look at that too. If we're doing it right and it's wrong, then we got to fix it as coaches. But I think the team has handled each game, and even after Penn State, that was disappointing. Everybody felt that. They came out on Sunday, and I've said this, players don't hang on to this stuff as long as we do. They got practice, they got individual, they got a condition, they got to get on to what's next. And I thought they did that. There was urgency. They were moving around. I think there was a sense of like, what, that wasn't good enough. And I think guys were pissed, and you could feel that. All right, I can handle that. I can handle somebody. When we make a mistake or we don't have a performance, if you come back and you want to work and you want to improve it and you don't want that to happen again, and your attitude shows that, I'm good with that. If it doesn't matter, I'm not good with that. I think guys really showed that on Sunday.
Well, I thought I liked what he said. I don't know why you said that.
Oh no! If you just snip,
I like what he said.
If you take your classic TV soundbite and turn that into like a 3-second soundbite at the very beginning.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that we've done well.
If you just play that, Auburn fans are going to go ballistic.
Well,
but his entire answer, yes, is something I can get on board with.
I think there are things that you're going to do well. I get it. Listen, I played on a 5-6 team, and I played on 2 top 10 teams when I was at Alabama, the 4 years. And we played on one mediocre team our rookie year, kind of going through the transition from a wishbone team to a professional team, professional type offense. And we changed our whole defenses too. But that beside, I played on a 5-6 team. We were ahead of every game but one at halftime. Beat an Auburn team that was in the top 5 the last game. There is not – we got beat by Vanderbilt. Now, Vanderbilt was pretty good at that year, but we got beat, but shouldn't have got beat. On that, there would be one guy miss his block. Everybody else was on the ground. I graded 90-something in that game. Running up the middle, but, we gained 2 or 3 yards where if the back would have cut this way, it was a touchdown. The back would have broke this. Nobody's blocking the free safety on an up-the-middle play. He's free. That's why they call him free safety. You get if you can get a tackle on him, but he would make the tackle with a guy. You got a running back who's a 5-star guy. He's supposed to break the tackle. You got to break a tackle occasionally, and it's a touchdown. That's the kind of – but my point is it's one guy. He said 1 or 2 guys in there.
Yep.
It's 1 or 2 guys. Now, the center got his butt whooped, but that guy he was playing against was good. The nose guard for Penn State was the real deal, and he created havoc. And the right tackle had a bunch of trouble blocking the different people he had to block in the game. He had a couple of holding penalties. But that game turned ugly. And the only disappointing thing to me in that game was, to me, in the middle of the third quarter, the crowd kind of started leaving after the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then the team kind of left. There wasn't many people fighting to the end, not 100%. And they got to work through that. But all that being said, I'm not saying, I bet the odds of him making it through the year is probably 20%, right? The odds aren't good because of everything else that's happened. But in reality, they haven't given this guy a chance. They hired him. They paid him a lot of money. He has one recruiting class. And he's gone from a finesse offense to a power offense, and it just doesn't happen that fast. And he's lost a lot of players and coaches. But I get it. It's embarrassing. I get it. I understand the reaction's natural. But you can make it worse, right?
Yeah.
You can make it worse. because the next guy in was going to want to get a good guy. You want somebody to come in that knows he's going to get some time to fix what is broken. And Auburn is having a pretty good recruiting class, aren't they? No? What do you think about? Not really?
It was a big weekend.
It was a huge weekend, which is why what happened Saturday really needed to not happen.
But you never know what is in the mind of a recruit.
Here's what's in the mind in the recruit.
I'm going to get to play.
Am I get to play? And what is the NIL?
Yeah.
What's the money?
The thing, as of right now, unless something has changed, I believe Auburn's recruiting class is last in the SEC.
Really? I thought they had just.
I thought they bumped up a little bit.
Yeah, I did too.
They may have jumped up to 13th recently because they did pick up somebody on Sunday. But as coming into this weekend,
I'd be more concerned about that than I would be Saturday. Right? But to me, you got to give the guy more than the third game of the year.
Yeah, I know. Your SEC, this is from 247 composite rankings. Yeah, Auburn is 13th.
I can see it.
Just above Missouri.
So Vanderbilt is ahead.
12th. Vanderbilt's 12th. This is SEC rankings, not national. But I mean,
still, yeah. You if you're not in the top, Auburn's
12,
a school. You should be 13, in the top 5
yeah.
every year, no matter what. In the Southeastern Conference, easy with their facilities and their support. Anyway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm still scrolling.
But here,
57th national.
You know what one of the best games of the day was? The Arkansas-Missouri State game.
Before we dive deeper into that,
Moulton's team almost got handed by
Auburn
Missouri State.
Is right ahead of the Golden Knights of UCF in the latest composite rankings.
That makes me feel slightly, but only slightly.
Well,
better.
Wait till they join a big conference. I think UCF is, they got 60,000 students. I think that'll be the school, the next Florida State, in my opinion, before it's over with.
All right,
not because of Malzahn, but because of he's going to help. I think he's a good coach that can win with what he has down there. Be interesting. Go ahead.
Yeah, you want to dive into some Missouri State and Arkansas? Let's have at it. What was your thoughts on because out of the gate it just looked like Arkansas was in a fog, and Bobby Petrino had a great plan.
Well, 17-0, but they carried the lead. Listen, Arkansas turned the ball over twice. Mm-hmm. Once at the half-yard line.
Yeah.
Once in the thing.
Those were the kind of games that they used to lose.
Yeah,
before Sam Pittman got there.
But that defense isn't as good. What I'm saying is, I watched the tape. There's a lot of holes in Arkansas. They were Arkansas was lucky to win that game. The punt return turned that game around in the fourth quarter because there was 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
In the game.
Yeah.
When that happened.
Yep.
And it wasn't like they got the momentum. It was a back and forth deal. Bobby Petrino did a good job preparing them.
Have you heard Sam Pittman after the game?
Well, I've heard that he said that
when
he got out-coached.
When asked about a 4th and 9 call that went for 5 yards and a turnover on downs, Coach, tell me about it.
You mentioned that 4th down call where you ran it on 4th and 9. What happened there?
Well, we ran it on 4th and 9 is exactly what happened. He turned around, he handed the ball, and he ran in there for about 5. And then the official come up, and he goes the other way. And Missouri State's team came out, and they started hauling butt down the field. The call was it was a run-to-run. We thought that we had them in 2 or quarters. And we thought we could surprise them and get them in there, and it was a run-to-run where basically we can hand it or KJ can run it, and it didn't work. And that's the honest goodness truth. I wish I could tell you that we had a pass on and something happened. That's the truth, though, but it didn't work.
Well, here's the deal. That's a guy comfortable in his job that runs the ball on 4th and 9, right? And doesn't get it. I mean, he's confident. And I like what he said. He said, I got out-coached today. I read that. I hadn't seen the audio.
Yeah.
But
he opened up his press conference with that.
But here's the deal. I think Arkansas, you're right. What Steve said is a really good point. They used to lose those type of games, but they came back and won. My point is there's not as good as everybody thinks they are at Arkansas, and I think they got their wake-up call. They're a good team, but they're not a great football team. The quarterback is not a great and they have problems at receiver and defensive back, and this game kind of proved that.
So the third best team in the SEC is who?
Oh, it's Ole Miss, I think, without a doubt. And I think LSU and Arkansas will be fighting for the other part.
Rat poison.
Well, I mean, I go by. First of all, we had the only people they kind of struggle with was Troy. Troy must have a pretty good football team. They should have beat App State this week.
They should have, yeah.
So they totally destroyed Georgia Tech.
Yes, they did.
I mean, and you say, oh, that's just Georgia, but you beat somebody 31-0, 42-0. Excuse me. And then you have the scouts all talking about how much talent Ole Miss has that they've brought in, have as much talent as any team in the SEC is the quote that I was given.
Yeah.
So he's working with and you just listen to Lane. He sounds like a different person, does he not?
He really does. I need Oxford more than Oxford needs me.
Yeah, and then what he just his talking about, he just seems like he's finally grown up. I mean, he has a mind like no other now.
Well, he even in case you're joining us late, we played a Q&A of do you pay royalties basically to Nick Saban every single time you say rat poison. What led to that question? It was this answer.
Told him this morning, you got to understand rat poison. I mean, it's out there and it comes when you play really well, and especially when the outcome is what it looks like, in the score. So, now, our running backs are hearing how great they are and defense and everything. And so, you still got to look at the process of things. And we missed surprisingly probably to you, we missed a lot of holes in the running game. Where there were a lot of big plays left out there. So, we got to keep plugging along, and every week is independent of the week before. And, these guys have to learn that because it doesn't matter what you did the week before. And that's why you guys sit around and compare scores and, well, this team beat that team, and then we play them and they played them. I've done that game, and you realize that doesn't matter at all, because that's why there's surprises every Saturday.
There's no question about that. Surprises every Saturday. Anyway, and let's go to Georgia. I saw Paul Feinbaum say Georgia's playing
the new Alabama.
Yeah. I agree. They're playing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like Alabama, but let me.
In the early 2010s.
Well, 2015 and 2016. Yeah. They won it once then. They didn't win the other time. They lost by 1 point in the last game. You don't have to be the best right now.
No.
You got to be the best at the end.
Correct.
And the tight end who killed us last year in the SEC championship game, although we won the game, he's unbelievable. And the guy on TV is right. He is a guy who's a tight end, but he's a wide receiver in a tight end's body. He's unbelievable. He made
Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock Bowers. Unbelievable catch.
Yeah.
He played really good. But guess who's off the team again, apparently?
Oh, really?
Didn't make the trip.
Really?
Arik Gilbert. Imagine that. But they're hoping he gets his stuff together. So,
well, I hope, no matter who he plays for.
That's true.
I hope he gets.
I do too. But I was just shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked, but I was surprised they asked to be because but Georgia looks good.
So
they, but I'm not sold on their defense. They haven't played a good quarterback yet. Not sold on the secondary.
I'm trying to think of when an elite quarterback is on the Georgia schedule. what you would deem as an elite quarterback. Let's see here. They've got Kent State this week, Missouri, Auburn, Vanderbilt, Florida, then Tennessee.
Tennessee's the test.
Yeah. And then that follows by Mississippi State. That's a quarterback with some experience.
Yeah.
Likewise, at Kentucky, that's a quarterback with some experience. And they close out with what looks like a bye week right now against Georgia Tech. So I rarely do this, if at all, but I just got a text message from my brother, and my mom had a rough weekend. I am happy to report she is she's listening right now. I told her I'd give her a shout out, and Mom,
hey Mom,
I'm glad you're feeling better, and thinking about you. It was great seeing you today. And anyway, I told her I'd give her a shout out. So
shout out to Mom.
Yeah. She had a rough weekend, but she's doing a lot better. Let's take our first time out. If you're on hold, we'll get right to you on the other side. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in and trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman. Hope to see you soon.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Dan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Two Maids and a Mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. Two Maids and a Mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at twomaidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. Two Maids and a Mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
When you bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive, you could save money, but it doesn't cover any terrible memories living rent-free in your head.
You remember that time you were singing in the shower, and then you heard a knock on the wall, and then you realized that your bathroom shared a wall with your neighbor's bedroom, and all you could do was stand there silently, thinking about all the other things they may have heard in the 4 years you've lived there? Yeah, good times.
Sorry, we can't save you from that memory, but we could save you money bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Renters insurance and bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
The Huntsville Sports Commission, a not-for-profit organization, is driven by the love of sports. And we're excited to announce several events already planned for this fall, including the Gulf South Conference Soccer Championship, the AVCA Fall Collegiate Beach Championships, the NCAA Division I Regional Cross Country Championship, and the Running Lane Cross Country Championships. For the love of sports, the Huntsville Sports Commission. Find out more at huntsvillesports.org.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet and Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet and Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet and Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
So what do a cheeseburger, pet food, and a 6-pack of IPA have in common? When you order them with DoorDash, you don't just get the things you love, you support the community you love too. From stores and restaurants to the Dashers driving around, every purchase provides an opportunity for everyone involved. With DoorDash, there's a neighborhood of good in every order. Get 50% off your first order of $12 or more, up to $15 value when you use code RADIO22 at checkout. Limited time offer, terms apply.
This segment of The Drive is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, located online at woodyAndersonFord.com with 2 locations, Hughes Road in Madison and Jordan Lane in Huntsville.
Back here with you, Monday edition of The Drive. Along with Wes Neighbors, Steve Moulton back here with you. I just got a text from my brother. Can we talk about what's really important down on the plains? When are they going to wear orange jerseys? When are they going to wear orange jerseys?
I think they were disappointed they didn't wear orange jerseys.
I also
cost them the game.
Pete Thamel tweeted out names for Arizona State. This is after the firing of you play to win the game. Brian Harson's name is the very first name on Pete Thamel's tweet. And I saw quite a few Auburn fans going ballistic even over that, of why his name is number 1 on Arizona State's list.
Because everybody thinks he's going to get fired. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy, only to be added when the athletic director that hired him was showed the door.
Yeah.
Who I think was a good athletic director. And
I did too.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest mistake of all this. So, Arizona State, Eastern Michigan, what a difference a week makes. Eastern Michigan lost to Louisiana Lafayette 49-21 last week.
Mm-hmm.
Beats Arizona State, and they fired his coach. Louisiana had the longest win streak in the college football. They had 15, which ended to Rice Saturday at Rice. There were more people in the stadium. They're all Cajuns, by the way. I don't think the Rice had 3 people there, I'm pretty sure. If you look at the aerial. Then we're at the Coliseum for the UCLA South Alabama game.
Yeah.
Where South Alabama almost pulled the upset, got beat by 1.
Did you watch any of that broadcast?
No, I didn't. I just saw the picture of the stadium.
Thank you.
It's unbelievably awful.
Empty.
To where?
So much so,
yeah.
Jerry Glanville texts me all the time on Saturdays and says, "Hey, Moulton, go over to the Pac-12 network if you have it. If you don't, borrow it from somebody else." Attendance is 29,344 announced.
Yeah, I don't think there's that many people there either. It was
South Alabama should have won.
Yeah. So the most who's the most famous UCLA quarterback?
Mark Hamill.
Troy Aikman. Thank you.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Troy Aikman.
I know who I'm talking to. It's Mark Hamill, NCIS.
called him out. Totally called him out. Called UCLA out about the.
I thought Oklahoma still claimed Troy Aikman.
No.
Let's talk to LSU Lynch on line 1. Appreciate you calling in, sir.
Thank you for taking my call, and
Yes,
I hope
sir.
your mama is doing okay.
She's doing better. Thank you. Thank you.
How are you, Mr. Neighbors?
I'm doing good.
Look, I know this guy. No, I got 3 things real quick. With the CFP going to 12, okay, and I have not heard y'all's conversations about this
Right.
and everything. Well, when Texas and Oklahoma come over here, are they going to get rid of the division? And are they going to take like a 1 and 2? How is that? I mean, y'all have to know, why is nobody really not talking about how this shift is going to change?
Well, because they don't know.
There's a lot of speculation. The one I hear the most validity on is a pod system where there'll be 9 conference games, but there'll be 4 in a pod. So it'd be like Arkansas, Texas A&M, LSU, and Oklahoma.
But that's that's even if they have this many teams, they might have more. They don't know.
Yeah.
It's all. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced they're going to have a 12-team playoff.
I am.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Because you were last year too when they said they were going to not do it.
Well,
and they didn't do it.
But the almighty dollar, I think, is.
But the almighty dollar's problem is that the 12 teams right now that they want to get in it might not be the ones making decisions. If they go to 2 super conferences, listen, I think this could be a total mess.
It's already a mess. It's already a mess.
Well,
I mean, look at the NIL. I mean, look at T.J. Finley. I mean, he was at LSU. He was garbage. He gone down to Auburn, which he's going to be garbage, and y'all been talking about that all day with Auburn. And he's got a deal, and he's garbage. So, I mean, you can move on with it, NIL money, transfers, and all of that, and nobody's got any more loyalty to nobody.
There's a lot of truth. I wouldn't say nobody, but there's a lot of not loyal people, no question.
Yes, sir. Okay, so number 2.
Yeah.
I got number 2 because I know y'all. Look here. Mr. Neighbors, you a wealth management person, right?
That's right.
Why is the EBT card not working in Alabama on the receivers? And look here. And then number 3, look here. Number 3, all you Alabama fans that love Leonard Skinner, which I do, y'all still listening to Sweet Home Alabama. Hear the song that y'all can't listen to this year. Give me a T for Texas, T for Tennessee. I see it. Thank you for my call.
This is why I missed LSU Lynch.
Oh, man, that's pretty good.
Joe is up next. How are you, Joe? You got any songs you want to sing for us, Joe? Bama Bino, my fault. Bama Bino.
Hey, Wes and Steve, hope y'all are well.
Yes, sir. How about you?
Steve, first off, I'm praying for your mother. I didn't know till today. I guess it's the first time I heard you talk about it, but I am praying for her.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I know she does too.
I am a big mama's boy, and I don't care anything. I don't care who, the good kind of mama's boy, not the weak kind. I'm talking about I love my mother. And I don't know, Wes, your mother is no longer with us.
No, my mother's, I hope.
Careful.
I talked to her today. She was good.
Dad passed away a long time ago, but
yeah.
Okay, well,
she's doing good. She's going to outlive us
I
all.
hope so. Well, I'm glad I was wrong on that, but I knew Billy passed away a good while back. But anyway, that's more important than any football is her mother's. And so, what I was going to talk about, y'all know. By the way, Steve, your dogs are looking good.
For now.
Wes,
mid-September. It's mid-September.
you know the line position better than I do, Wes. But what happened Saturday? You said you got a chance to watch ball. Did they not get pushed off the ball all day long Saturday on the Plains?
Oh yeah, well they had trouble with that nose guard, and right tackle had a bunch of trouble, jumped off sides a couple times. But the real problem is the turnovers. I mean, listen, I thought Auburn fought. I thought the offensive line was fighting. They just playing against better competition.
They're fighting, but did you look at the difference in the arm size and the thigh size of their offensive line and Penn State's defensive line?
And Penn State's going to always have big players. The nose guard could move too. The nose guard took the center and picked him up with his opposite hand. In other words, he took his right. If you're facing somebody, he took his right hand, put it on that guy's left shoulder, and picked him up, threw his arm through, and just took him with him.
Yeah,
several times. Not once. Several times. The guy was good.
There's definitely a weight room deal down there because I don't know what their strength and conditioning is, but I know there's 2 or 3 of their linemen that look much bigger than some of the bigger high school linemen when they first get out of high school.
Thank you, Ben Mabino. Really appreciate the phone call and your thoughts and prayers as well. Thank you so much. One thing that I did not hear post-game wise for Auburn, didn't even hear it today, was, Coach, do you have a guy in your ear to challenge? Because the first interception, it was caught by Gary Danielson and the CBS crew. The very first pick thrown by TJ Finley, there were all zeros on the clock. It was the end of the first quarter, and the play clock was still running down, but the game clock at the final play of the first quarter was 000. It should not have been a pick had Auburn challenged it. And they even went to, I don't know if you caught that, but, I mean, it's the little things if you keep possession there on what that drive could lead to. I never heard that question get asked either in the postgame or today to Brian Harsin. Incidentally, your lines for entertainment purposes only, the Auburn-Missouri line, what I affectionately called as the toilet bowl over the weekend, -7 for Auburn at home, and that line has not changed as the over-under is set at 53.5. Tennessee is a 10-point home favorite over them Florida Gators. Not too shabby. So Josh Heupel was asked about facing the Gators today, and playing the Gators is a different deal.
Probably 30 seconds after I arrived here on campus. This is one of the ball games that this fan base and our players point to too, and obviously being a fan of college football, I've seen the great games and the rivalry itself play out, and that's why you come here. You want to be a part of these types of games. You want to have an opportunity to have college game day on your campus and be the primetime slot and have a sold-out stadium, and we're excited to see the fan base and Vol Walk. I know will be electric, and when we run out that tee, there won't be a better atmosphere in college football.
When the place was packed for Akron, that showed to me the buy-in that these Vol fans, these starving Vol fans that are just all in on this team this year, and they certainly did take care of business against Joe Moorhead's squad, and Florida, not so much against South Florida. Did you watch any of that game?
I did not watch any of it, but I was
that was a tough watch.
Yeah. So that's Billy Napier's MO. That he's going to beat some people, but he's used to having the better players, and it's something's going on with that quarterback, as he just doesn't look like he's somehow has lost his confidence, right?
It seems that way.
So until we'll see.
There is a certain afternoon host on our sister station, The Blitz, and his name is Captain Cool, otherwise known as John Abraham, who went Anthony Richardson as his Heisman favorite. So,
Captain Cool, eh?
Captain Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to close this segment with I ended the first segment with me talking about my family. Let's talk about your family. Big moment. A huge moment.
Yes. So, Jackson Roby walked on at Alabama. He's my sister's boy. Him and I are real close. He's been there for 5 years and hadn't played in a game. And they put him in at the end of the game. I think he was supposed to play a couple other times. He's pretty much the third-string center. He plays with the threes. He's been there for 5 years now. And it's hard to get a walk-on offensive lineman. I mean, because it's just imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to play offensive line, period. But the guy has been working and toiling, and he's one of the team favorites, and that was the cool thing. Not that he got in the game, that's cool. But the reaction he got from his teammates.
Will Anderson, they zoomed in on Will, and they were all jumping around.
Yeah, enough to announce. The sportscasters picked up on it, and they started talking about Jackson Roby. So congratulations to Jackson Roby. He's it's not too tough a life. He's been to 3 national championship games on the sideline, right?
Poor guy.
They've only won one though, but he still got his ring.
I was about to say, SEC championship last year.
Last year, so,
yeah,
I know it.
Rebuilding year.
Yeah, rebuilding year, and he's working hard. I think they're off today. No, they're practicing today. So he's working his tail off today.
Yeah.
Again, so
congratulations
to him.
Yeah.
I've said this on the air before. And to be honest with you, I was right and wrong. I knew he'd have trouble playing there, and I didn't think it was for him, but he did it anyway. And I was wrong is the fact that you don't have to play every down to affect a team and to be a positive influence.
Yeah.
And he's had the time of his life. And, it's I talked about to tell people after the national championship game where they won in Miami, I went to meet them. And
yes, you did. That was a little bit of a party at that hotel.
So we had a great time. But when we went and met them, the bus just got there. I got there. We walked upstairs together, and Najee Harris, everybody was in his room waiting on him. I mean, he's a fun guy to be around, and just congratulations, Jackson Roby.
Absolutely. We'll hear a little bit from Nick Saban. I imagine you will hear a little bit more from Nick Saban coming up next hour. Crimson Tide Rewind. Plus, there was a couple of Monday Night Football games going on tonight, including the Eagles. I don't know if you heard this on Friday, but it sounded like Nick Saban, or is it a Philadelphia quarterback? I'll let you decide that for yourself on the other side of our final timeout. Let's do that right now, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, everybody. Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Electric cars are coming faster than you think, and that's why we're bringing SEMA Connect to Alabama.
Our team educates you and helps provide a long-term plan for your business. Where to put them, how to get them there, how to pay for them, tax incentives, service, and monitoring. We take care of everything.
Doing the right thing means bringing EV car chargers to Alabama. Let us help you with your EV charging plan.
If you're one of the 100 million Americans who suffer from high blood pressure, this is for you. New Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure is specially formulated for people with high blood pressure. NyQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free and alcohol-free. NyQuil High Blood Pressure is also decongestant-free, unlike some ordinary cold medicines. So look for Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure medicine. Use as directed.
Southern Fidelity Mortgage. Think of them as a loan for everyone, offering more products than anyone else and the guaranteed lowest rates and costs in town. Of the 2,000 loans that Southern Fidelity Mortgage has pre-approved over the last 10 years, all but one have closed. That's unprecedented in the banking business. For FHA, VA, rural development, and conventional mortgages, for the best mortgage experience in town, it's Southern Fidelity Mortgage.
Call Southern Fidelity Mortgage Company at 256-656-5936.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. For this Monday, expect mostly sunshine. High temperatures going to be topping out in the lower 90s for the afternoon. You can expect to stay dry, too. Heading into your Monday night, a partly cloudy sky expected. Low temperature is going to be falling into the mid and upper 60s for the overnight. I'm meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
The best local sports talk with the best in college football. A perfect combination. Hi, this is Chris Stewart. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's okay, Jackson. It's okay.
We do have to call a therapist.
Yeah.
You guys don't understand.
We don't understand.
He's killing me.
NFL Week 2 almost in the books. A couple of games going on tonight, including the Titans at the Bills, as well as the Vikings and Eagles. So, had a chance to, Jalen Hurts was a guest on the Rich Eisen show on Friday and was asked about leadership. Tell me if you hear a couple of key phrases in this answer from the Philadelphia Eagles starting quarterback.
I think there are all different types of leaders, and everybody has their own way of leading.
But I think the thing people have to realize about leadership is people lead because their peers let them lead. And I've just, tried to lead by example, gain the respect of my teammates. So when I do have something to say, it's heard. And we can go out there and kind of do what we need to do. I think as a football team, we've preached a standard this whole entire offseason, and it's been an emphasis of declaring the standard, executing the standard, and that there only rises. It only rises. So we just want to chase that standard and chase progress, chase growth, and I just do that by being who I am in terms of leadership.
I love that guy. I'm going to say this real quick. Let's just bring this up. The Tua haters need to be hiding their head in the hole. Now, the ones that said he couldn't play this or that need to put their head in the hole. I don't know why. They preached Deshaun Watson. You think Miami would be 2-0 right now if they got rid of Tua and kept and have Deshaun Watson? No. These is when the press gets involved, thinking they know more than I'm using a very general term. All these people that were so against Tua for whatever reason, and to watch him play like he did Saturday. Now the other thing is he has to stay healthy. Let's see if he can stay healthy.
That's his big.
Right? Well, no. They said first of all he didn't have the arm strength to play. He didn't have this. He didn't have that. You give that guy time, he will dissect you like he did the Baltimore Ravens.
4 teams overcame double-digit deficits. Miami, a 21-point deficit. The Arizona Cardinals, a 20-point deficit. Sorry, Tom Abraham. The New York Jets overcame a 13-point deficit. Kansas City Chiefs overcame a 10-point deficit as well this past weekend in the National Football League. One other stat for you in the Derek Thomas was mentioned. This by the NFL stats from Cleveland. Myles Garrett appeared in his 70th game and registered 1 sack on Sunday's loss against the Jets. Garrett now has 61.5 career sacks. He surpasses Hall of Famer Derek Thomas and J.J. Watt with 61 for third most sacks by a player in his first 70 games since 1982.
That's strong. I thought Myles Garrett was always overrated.
I did too.
In college.
I did too.
But he has been, other than that one incident, the helmet deal, he has been a good player on a bad team.
Coming up tomorrow, we are on the road at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Swing on by for Pedro's birthday. Thursday, don't forget, we're at Baumhauer's Victory Grill as well to get you set for Hey Coach and the Nick Saban Show. And I have watched – did you watch any of Vanderbilt at Northern Illinois? I was thoroughly impressed.
I kept up with it.
I mean, I know it's Northern Illinois.
Yeah.
But defensively, I've been impressed.
Vanderbilt's not very good. They're better than they've been, but they're not very good, Steve. And I think
line's like 42.5, I think.
40, yeah. My point exactly. 42.5. It's a lot. I mean, so the test for Alabama is going to be how do they do on the road, right? Now, right? They play LSU on the road. They play who else on the road? Ole Miss on the road.
Ole Miss, yeah.
They play who else?
Arkansas
on the road. That's been their big. That's for this team in front of big crowds. They played Arkansas. Auburn last year, and they played. They did good at Mississippi State last year. Didn't do good at Auburn. Didn't do like Texas. Last 2 on the road games, they didn't do very well.
Crimson Tide Rewind is next. We will talk to you tomorrow.
AVIQ.